Welcome back to the Great Debate Show. I'm your host, Uncle JJ. Back, better than ever, baby. Up in this biatch. What am I here to talk about up in this biatch? I want to talk about the NBA draft tonight. A lot of big things popping. I know y'all looking at me on YouTube right now. Kind of a different angle somewhat. But I needed this device set up for Twitter. So I'm on X live for now. We'll see how that goes. If I get some traffic in here, then that's what we're gonna do. If not, then I'll switch that to Instagram or Facebook. I'm live on TikTok as usual. I'm live on YouTube also as usual. I do this weekdays, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. This is the Great Debate Show. Last night I had to come in and talk about Porzingis being traded to the Atlanta Hawks for a minute. I also talked about the Boston Celtics as far as what they're doing right now. It looks like they're kind of cleaning house, so to speak, but they're just trying to get out of that second apron. And this is something that teams are doing now, owners are doing, because the rules kind of changed a little bit. They tweaked it. And so these owners are not going to just, keep and hold on to these players being stubborn like the Phoenix Suns or, other teams like that, and try to hold on and reach, for a championship while creating a worse cap space and a luxury tax, all that hard cap hits and things like that on the financial side. They're trying to avoid that. So that's why we knew, or at least I knew, I said that the Boston Celtics were probably going to move off of Porzingis and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is in Portland for now. Porzingis just went to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the biggest question for the Boston Celtics, as we spoke about yesterday, is, are the Celtics renovating the house, or are they tearing it all the way down, looking to rebuild it? And I'll say they should probably tear it down to the studs. Why? Well, there's 10 teams right now calling the Boston Celtics for Jaylon Brown and Derek White. I'm talking about not just any 10 teams, 10 teams with the lottery pick. 10 teams that are picking within the top 10, top 12 tonight. They're trying to figure out a way where they can come in and give Boston some picks. Notice that they're trying to rebuild or reset. Let them get younger. Let them get cheaper. Here, take this. We want Jaylon Brown. Another team, we want Derek White. What will it take? What is the asking price? And I'm telling you right now, according to Brian Windhorst, it's not like the Celtics are not listening. He hasn't said that they're going to make a trade or they're not. He hasn't said either, but they are at least listening. And I think that's very, very important with this whole thing. Tonight, this draft could really, really, really be popping. It could really get lit, because it may not just be Cooper Flagg getting drafted by the Mavericks, that number 1 overall. We all know that's what's going to happen. That might not just be the only highlight of the night, and that's predictable. But a trade for certain players and picks for a Jaylon Brown or a Derek White, that could pop out tonight if the Celtics pull the trigger. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they would. But these are the developing storylines that's going on right now across the NBA. It's getting real juicy. Now, if I'm the Celtics, I'm listening. Would I love to keep Jaylon Brown and Jason Tatum together? Yeah, but I won't be able to have them together next season. So I'm being very, very optimistic, probably overly optimistic, because I'm asking myself, or I'm telling myself, that I'm going to keep Derek White and Jaylon Brown. And when Tatum comes back, we're going to run it back with those three, and we'll just sprinkle seeds around it. We'll build around it. But now you're looking like the Phoenix Suns. You've got a decent backcourt, but no front court. Horford's about to be gone in free agency. We think more than likely, maybe not since Porzingis is gone, but either way, you still need to get younger at that position. Horford can still play for his age, don't get me wrong, but he fits better in Boston because he's not counted on to be like the number 1 big, or at least he wasn't. Maybe he has to go somewhere else now because he doesn't need to be anybody's number 1. He probably would be better if he was a Minnesota Timberwolves. Now he's coming off the bench for Rudy Gobert. That's a nice bid coming off the bench then. That was just just speculation. I'm just throwing a team out there. But the Celtics are either going to keep Derek White and Jaylen Brown and wait on Tatum to come back, and they're going to build around that and try to do it again, or they're going to bust this whole thing up and say, look, Jason Tatum is our guy. He's our star, and we'll see what happens when he comes back. We'll build around that. We'll try to build around it now until he gets back, and then continuing after that. They got everything that they could get out of this roster, and they got a championship. And the reason why they got that championship, in my opinion, was the two guys that they just traded away in the past 48 hours. Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Those are the two men that got the Celtics over that hump. Remember, this team did not beat the Warriors in 2022. Steph Curry single-handedly beat them. But they didn't bust it up. They said, man, let's reach a little bit more. And they were lucky to get Holiday as a free agent signing, and then they also traded for Porzingis. But now those guys are gone, and now it's, what are they going to do now? I say trade Jaylen Brown if they get the right offer. And some of these guys that they've already released, it wasn't about what they got in return. It was just, we need to get this off the books. And that's what they did. So I say trade Jaylen Brown. Why not? You have an excuse to do so because Tatum got hurt. That's a gift and a curse. The curse is he's injured. That sucks. He's not playing next season. The gift is we can use this for an excuse now to get rid of some of these players. You're going to ask for Derek White and Jaylen Brown to still be as productive 2 years from now when Tatum can play. You're going to ask for them to be 2 years older, still productive, hopefully injured-free, not having any injuries or anything like that. That's just too much to ask for. It's too much to ask for. And the reason why I would consider trading both of those guys tonight, because there's no – Derek White and Jaylen Brown are not going to contend for a championship. The Celtics are not going to contend for a championship with just those two as the big stars. That ain't enough. With Holiday gone, Porzingis gone, who's defending the perimeter now? You're asking way too much of Jaylen Brown. And he's going to have to do so much on the defensive side. He won't have enough on the offensive side every night. So I think they can move him. I'm not saying they will, but I say why not? This is a perfect opportunity to do so because Tatum is hurt, and that's a good excuse, a good cop-out on why you did it. That's just my opinion. And I would love to have Jaylen Brown playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. If I couldn't get him, give me DeMar DeRozan. If I can't get him, how about Kuminga? That's somebody that could get traded tonight too. I don't know what happened with Kuminga and Steve Kerr or Kuminga and the teammates and the Warriors. I don't know. But he's a nice asset I would like to have. Again, I'm looking for somebody as a Grizzly fan, somebody that can defend on the perimeter. We don't really have anybody to do that, especially since Bane is in Orlando. So we've got Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks, two teams that have already made trades to tell you that they're trying to be the next Indiana Pacers for the 25-2026 NBA season. And I ain't mad at them. Look for Clint Capella to get traded. He's only got 1 year left on his contract. He's now become a backup center, a backup big. That's somebody that the Lakers would be trying to kick the tires on right now if they're looking for somebody to be a rim protector, and if they're not looking for somebody that has to score on the offensive side. Clint Capella is probably going to be gone now that Porzingis is now in Atlanta. And if he's not leaving, watch out for the Hawks. Because they've already made that other guy their starting center. Who's the guy that they drafted last year? Nginkwa, I can't even pronounce his name. But they made him, that young guy, the starting center. So Porzingis is going to be either a stretch four or he's coming off the bench at the 5. I don't see any room for Capella unless they're going on with 3 bigs. And if that's the case, I ain't mad at that either. But the Hawks just got better. Pick and roll with Trae Young and Porzingis and that young guy, not bad. So watch out for the Magic and the Hawks. Everything that anyone in the Eastern Conference does that makes them significantly close to a championship contender, we're going to call them the wannabe Pacers. Everybody's trying to be the Pacers. That's what they would hope for. And that was a hell of a Cinderella season for the Indiana Pacers in 2025. And people are trying to replicate that. That's it. I want to say grand rising, kings and queens, to everyone that's joining me on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. What's up to Ethan in the building? How you doing, man? He says, whoever we get, do you think we trade for a better player like Trey Murphy or Herb Jones? Who is we, Ethan? I'm sorry, who is we? Who you think the Grizz is drafting tonight? Maybe he is talking about the Grizzlies. Are you a Grizzly fan, Ethan? Okay, yes, he is. Okay, I don't know who the Grizzlies are going to draft tonight. All the talk right now is around that Ace Bailey guy out of Rodgers. He's supposed to be going to the Sixers at number 3, but who knows? The only thing I know for sure is the number 1 pick, man. I don't know, but we need to be getting somebody. We're going to hold on to that draft pick. It needs to be somebody that can defend on the perimeter. Seriously. That's what it needs to be. But good question. Trey Murphy or Herb Jones, I would rather have some of the players that I mentioned, like a DeMar DeRozan, Kuminga, Jaylon Brown would be nice. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I would like a much better, bigger star that I know will give me the production right off the bat. I can already calculate that and say, this is what the Grizzlies are going to look like. That's just my 2 cents, though. I want to say what's up over here to TikTok. Raymond in the building. What's up, Hernandez? How you doing? Salem in the building. I'm ready for Madden Curse. Oh, wow. You want the Madden Curse? You must be an Eagles hater because you don't like the Eagles, maybe. You know Saquon's on that cover. And I already know I experienced my Madden Curse last year with CMC. Smallest kid on the court. What's up? Says if Porzingis can stay healthy, I'll be surprised. Yeah, me too. Me too. Maybe that's why they won't trade Capella. Maybe they will keep him for that last year. I'm not sure. Scruffle said, as a Celtic fan, every Shams notification I get nervous someone else is going. And Jaylon Brown and or Derek White could be next. Cody Smith said, let's go Ja Morant. Sure do need to go for real. We need to get it going. Yep. Dayla, what's up? How you doing? They're going to get Giannis. Okay. Read too much talking. I podcast, so I have to talk if you're talking to me. Host means dominate the live, not dominate it with talking. Dayla, you want to start your podcast, you go right ahead and do it the way you want to do it. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to ask you to do you. All right? Be respectful or get out, please. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, and I'm about to continue to talk because that's what I do here. And I will read some of these comments as I go. You must be new here because if you were not, then you would already know how I get down. This is how I do. I talk and then I read a little bit. I don't have to read it all. You know, I could have super chats and everything going in here to where if you don't send any money, I ain't got to read. Okay? So let me do me and you do you, Dayla. All right? Why we just can't come in here and be nice and get along? Why somebody always have to troll? That person probably knows me too, whoever the hell it is. And I always be the people who never could say anything to your face. But they wait to use their gangster fingers. Okay. So anyway, I don't have anybody else to say anything to right now. I think I read most of them. Celtics have Quetta and Tillman for the front court. Not great. Again, this is to Celtic fans. Let me say this. Don't hold your head. For one, you just won a championship. All right? Don't prove my co-host Terrence Smith right. He says that Celtics and Lakers, especially Lakers, are just some of the most ungrateful, spoiled fans on this planet. You just won a championship, so it's okay. It's okay. You got what you could get out of that. That was it. They thought they would get multiple championships. Didn't happen. Tatum got hurt too. But it's okay. You got a championship. Now, the Celtics are pretty good at this. If they continue to draft well, if they make the right picks and move the right people, they will respond, and they'll be back in a couple of seasons when Tatum's at full strength. It's just about how they're going to build around him. And I don't know if they have Jaylon Brown and Derek White still in that picture, or if they're going to go ahead and move off of those guys and get more picks and more players, more of a younger depth team after those trades. That would determine if they're going to be rebuilding or resetting. Right now, it looks like just a sort of a reset. But if they pull the trigger on some of these calls, again, y'all, Windhorse said there's 10 teams, 10 lottery teams making calls to the Celtics right now for Derek White and Jaylon Brown. I'll be surprised if they didn't bite off of one of them. Now, if they don't, then they're telling you, man, we just wanted to get rid of some of those contracts. We good. We ain't busting this whole thing up yet. That's what that would tell me if they do that. But we'll see. Do you think Bam will get traded? I wish he would, because I don't think the Miami Heat have enough going on over there to contend, even though the East looks weak right now. But I can't answer that for sure, though, Jay. But thank you for the comment. I would love to have Bam. I guess y'all said I would love to have a lot of players, right? Bam is somebody that the Lakers should be looking for, a Bam or a Clint Capella. I'm big on the both of them, but Bam gives you more offense, and we know what he can do on the defensive side. Rodgers below 500 with two guards who are supposed to be NBA caliber. Ace Bailey might just be hype. Ooh, that's a good comment there, smallest kid on the court. You think so? ESPN said 49ers coming back. Man, I thought that was a real ESPN watching me. But hey, I hope you're right. With the schedule the way it looks, I think we are. KJ, how do you feel about Debo leaving? Pretty good. I appreciate everything Debo did for us, man, but it was time. It was time. Cinnamon, 4K, don't run. Nate, your favorite NBA team, the Warriors? No, I ride with the home team, man, the Grizzlies. Warriors need to go after Cam Thomas for Kuminga. Where's Cam Thomas at? I think Kuminga is going to get traded, though. I do think he's going to get traded, y'all. Boston Celtics are not trading Jaylon Brown. That's facts, says Dean Roberts. Okay. Well, that's not what Brian Windhorse said. So are we going to listen to Brian Windhorse, or are we going to listen to you, Dean? He has said that it's not out the question. And he would not stand firm on they're not moving him or they will move him. He said it's not out of the question, but they are taking calls. He wouldn't think that it would happen. But, man, we don't know what's going to happen. We really don't. I wish the Warriors would pick up Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is now with the New Orleans Pelicans. And that's a trade that nobody's talking about because in my mind it's not really worth talking about. But what's his name? They got C.J. McCollum and somebody else left the New Orleans Pelicans going to Washington, and Jordan Poole's leaving the Wizards going to the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't even really understand that one, but Lawson in the building, what's up? He says, yep. Ronald building in the Roninda building. Hope the Warriors draft next splash. Next splash, bro. Okay, Bria from Kentucky. Okay. It'll be interesting to see what the Warriors and the Lakers do because they're close, but they're not that close. But they don't have the assets to get where they need to be. They both need big, so I can't wait to see what the Warriors and the Grizzlies do because the Warriors and the Lakers, because they may not be as close as what some people think, and they may be kind of falling behind the 8 ball here with a lot of these other teams in the Western Conference. I don't know. We're going to see. One big move can just change everything. It can change the whole narrative. Lawson, what is your 49ers record prediction? I see 11-6, man. Yep. I see 11-6, 12-5, to be honest with you, just because of the schedule. But that only happens if the offense, it only happens if they stay healthy. And if those young guys on the defense, those rookies and everything that they just drafted, they would have to stay healthy and they would have to progress, develop pretty well. If it's a slow process, then they are going to take some lumps, like the general manager, John Lynch, said. Lawson said, me too. I think we sweep the Seahawks. Yeah. Now, look, don't sleep on the Seahawks defense. But, yeah, I ain't scared of their offense at all. So that's going to actually kind of be I don't know. It could be a pretty balanced matchup though for right now because the offense isn't scary, but our defense isn't scary yet either. If they're still wet behind the ears, that's going to take some time, especially week one. You won't see the best of them. And then on the flip side, our offense against their defense. Well, their defense is not. It's not. It ain't no chopped liver. And then our offense. Well, I don't know what to expect of it. Well, we have some of our core players still there, but BA won't be there to start the season. We don't know what CMC is really going to be about. And the offensive line, I can't wait to see if they can hold up and protect their new investment. You know, their $53 per year $1 million investment. Just followed you. Thank you. Thank you. Literally in the building. Thank y'all, man. Still DRE. What's up, Dre? He's in the building again. He said, who gets their 5th ring first? Oh, Curry or LeBron or neither? Man, I'm going to say neither right now. And I promise I'm not throwing shade. I'm not hating. I just think that they're a little bit further behind the 8 ball versus what the Thunder, who are already champions and still got assets to stay on top for a couple of years at least. The Dallas Mavericks are about to draft Cooper Flagg tonight. Kyrie just got a 3-year, $119 million extension. Forgot to talk about that. He's pretty much saying he ain't going anywhere. He's saying that I like this situation. So he didn't opt into that 1-year, $43 million option. He said, nah, forget that. He opted out and he did a 3-year deal. Now we know he will be missing half the season, but this tells me Jason Kidd, I guess, is gonna stay. Even though he was flirting with the Knicks and the Knicks was flirting with him. I think this move, I don't think Kyrie does this if he doesn't know Kidd is staying. And I don't even know if Kidd is staying if he doesn't know Kyrie is going to be locked in. So with the Mavericks and the Rockets now having KD and the Thunder aren't going anywhere, the Denver Nuggets just need to get a little depth on their bench. That's all they need is a bench, and they beat the Thunder in that semifinal round. If you ask me, that's 4 teams right there in the Minnesota Timberwolves I haven't even mentioned yet. They're number 2 right now behind the Thunder on the NBA ranking, the too early ranking list already. They just need to figure out if they're going to get them a big that can score, unlike Gobert, if they're going to keep Gobert or trade him for other assets, or if they're just going to add somebody to the backcourt that can shoot better with Ant. But that's 5 teams I just named right there. Where do the Lakers and the Warriors fit in that? So they've gotten themselves into, this conundrum where they may be falling behind the 8 ball. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Niner game, says Emmanuel. What's up, man? That's right. Bang, bang. Nah, if Curry doesn't get hurt, it was different. I hear you, but I don't think the Warriors were going that far now. I'm sorry, I don't. They're good, but they're not that good. No, I don't think they were going that much further. They shouldn't have beat the Rockets even if Curry was playing. That's why the Rockets made a move. The Rockets were number 2 in the Western Conference because they had regular season players, good regular season players. But down the stretch for the playoffs, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks were not it when it came down to the offensive side. If they had Kevin Durant, that wouldn't have won 7 games. Because if you force the Warriors to have to play big, they can't do it. And I don't see how they're going to get any better at that position right now. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to say neither. Does Steph Curry have the better chance to get that 5th ring? Yes, he does. But I don't think they have the assets to really do much. Let's see what they can get out of Kuminga. If they trade him, what can they get back in return for him? I don't know. His trade stock didn't go up much because they barely played him. Played him a little bit down the stretch, but it was out of being desperate, I believe. Roninda in the building said they love lamb chops. Lamb chops are good. Niner game. What's your prediction for the King of the Ring Saturday? WWE, says Lawson. Cody wins the King of the Ring. It'll be Cody Cena 2 at SummerSlam, I guess. And Jade wins Queen of the Ring. And they're going to set up Jade and Naomi for either SummerSlam or that Evolution PLE for the Women's World Championship, Women's WWE Championship, meaning that Naomi's about to cash in on Tiffany Stratton pretty soon here. So watch out for that. Niners going to the Super Bowl, says Emmanuel. Man, at this point, that don't even excite me anymore, man. I hope you're right, but I would have been much more ecstatic if you said the Niners are winning the Super Bowl. I think we can all agree as Niner fans, we're used to going to that motherfucker, but we want to win it for a change. It's been 30 years. Literally. 31. 30 for the Cowboys, 31 for us. Tripod says that Emmanuel is crazy. No, he ain't. Leave Emmanuel alone, man. He said at least we ain't Dallas. That's true. But I'm getting to the point that where, hey, man, losing Super Bowls is just as bad as the Cowboys going to the playoffs being one and done, getting embarrassed in that one game or missing the playoffs. Man, that's not as bad as going all the way to the Super Bowl and losing in embarrassing walk-off home run in the ninth inning type of fashion. I don't want that again. Let me be 4-13. I can take that a lot easier. You know what I mean? That's just me now. We didn't been so good. Fuck that. Let's win. Or let's just be bad then. Stop building me up to let me down. What's up, Jacob? He said, big trade happening tonight. I feel it. What's that trade then, Jacob? Tell us. Share that with your boy. Share it with your uncle. I want to know. The Celtics are on the phone with 10 different teams trying to figure out who is going to win over the services of Jaylon Brown or Derek White. One of those trades could happen tonight. Or do the Celtics say, no, we ain't going that far. We good. What do y'all Celtics fans think? I had a few Celtics fans in here telling me the Celtics are going to be fine next year. I want them to come back in here and tell me the same thing now. Do you really think they're a championship contending team? Without Tatum? Without Holiday? Without Porzingis? Jaylon Brown and Derek White is going to lead you all the way, huh? Okay. We had the Super Bowl back in 24, but the ref gave the Chiefs extra time. Jesus says Jesus followers. Man, we had chances to win that game and we didn't win it. I don't want to talk about the refs. The first Super Bowl, I could say, the first time we lost to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54. But 58, nah, I ain't finna use any of that for an excuse. We had 5 quarters to beat them, and we didn't find a way to do it. And y'all wonder why I hate Kyle Shanahan. Y'all wonder why. Melo going to L.A. LaMelo? You talking about LaMelo? Sooner Babe is in the building. How you doing? What time does it start tonight so I can watch? I want to say 7. NBA draft 7 Eastern, I believe. I think it's 7 Eastern tonight. Yeah, ESPN. I would say that's about right. 7 Eastern, 7:30 Eastern, something like that. Let's see here. What else I got? Cameron Yates says, "Go Dallas Cowboys." Boom. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for joining me. Steel Dre says, if Jordan or Bryant hadn't won a ring during the pandemic, if Jordan or Bryant had won a ring during the pandemic, would they get the same treatment as James? No, they probably wouldn't, but that's because they hadn't jumped around to teams ring chasing like James. So that's why they wouldn't get any static about it. And I, for one, I didn't say anything about it. Like, he's got 4 championships. I don't call it a COVID ring like everybody else. But there's reasons why people don't like James. He's a crybaby. He whines a lot. He flops. He's soft for his size and everything like that. He's still good for his age, but he says he has ice in his veins in the first quarter, and then that goes away in the fourth quarter. But you're probably right. They wouldn't bash those guys like that, but I'm telling you why. Because they would have been Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers for life. Yep. Got some breaking news with the Indiana Fever, but I don't really know much about who that is. So yeah, Cooper Flag is going to be a Dallas Maverick tonight. Jaylen Brown and Derek White could get traded. And in NFL news, Aaron Rodgers told Pat McAfee yesterday on his show that this could be his last season. So the Steelers will be doing all of this again at the end of this season, trying to find a franchise quarterback. They drafted a guy, quarterback. Can't think of his name right now. Will Howard out of Ohio State. Nobody really thinks he's going to be the future, though. So if you watch, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm missing a few here. What's up, DYL with it? You think the Niners should trade Ayuk for Scary Terry? I wish, but now who's gonna trade for BA though right now, brother? That's the thing. I know Niner fans are sick of him. Hell, I'm even getting sick of him, and I had his back when everybody was trashing him. I was like, man, y'all chill. But who's gonna trade for a guy with a busted up knee right now? It ain't gonna happen. And the Commanders better take care of that Terry McLaurin situation. What's the problem? He wants $30 million per. What's the problem? You got a rookie quarterback. You got a rookie. You got a quarterback on a rookie contract. Man, pay that dude. You're not paying anybody a lot of big bucks in Washington. They'll figure it out. Adam Peters is coming from San Francisco. He's their general manager now. I think they'll be all right. But now, bro, that sounds good, but nobody's gonna trade for BA. Let's see here. If it's someone I feel maybe a Giannis trade or a Celtics trade, the Nets have so many first round picks. Well, that would be very entertaining, especially for my live stream tonight during the draft. I will be covering that tonight. But man, look, Jacob, Giannis saying he don't want to go anywhere. And if he doesn't want to go anywhere, then that's that on that. But you're right, the Nets do have some picks. They may be up to something. But I don't know if it's enough to, have two big stars. But yeah, Jacob said he feels a big trade coming tonight. We're gonna see, Jacob. I hope you're right though. When the Texans played the Chiefs in the playoffs, the refs actually made them win. Man, that's the Chiefs, man. And again, I just don't want to use excuses on why my team lost to the Chiefs. But we know how it goes. They've been doing this for a while now with the Chiefs. But you have to be so much better than them like the Eagles were. You have to be so much better. So whether officials won't even matter. I enjoy your live because you keep it real and you are level. Damn, I missed that. These things jump. Level-headed. Thank you, Sooner, babe. I appreciate it. I try to be. And I appreciate y'all too, man. I actually expected more trolls in here than what I have. Just one or two of them will come in every now and then and we just kick them out. But y'all are very, very good people. And I enjoy talking with y'all. What do you think the Niners are going to get? 10 games this year? 10, 11, possibly 12. Yep. LaMelo going to the Bulls or the Lakers. Why are you saying that, Emmanuel? Are they trying to trade him? You're talking about he's talking about LaMelo. The Hornets are going to trade him. Why would the Lakers want him, though? Are they going to trade LeBron? The Lakers need a big. Thank you again for that comment, Sooner, babe. Get Low says, if you watch UFC, who you got? Ilya or Dude Bronx? Man, I really haven't been watching lately. Get Low. I haven't. I am about to get back into it because my girl Amanda Nunes, the GOAT, has retired. So holler back at me, man. I'm gonna have to get back and do my research. I don't like talking about anything that I don't really know though. That's just foolish in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and say what a lot of people don't like to say. I don't know. I'm sorry. Lawson said Duke's lineup next year is all new. That's every year, isn't it? Tripod said Caitlin Clark probably gonna be a champion this year. Watch out for the Indiana Fever. Oh, that wasn't Caitlin Clark news. It was about somebody else. I don't know her. Let me make sure I can tell you what that was. It wasn't anything major though. The Fever announced that they waived DeWanna Bonner and signed Ari McDonald for the remainder of the season. So just a little help that they're giving Caitlin Clark. The Rockets also have extended Fred VanVleet. That's good news too, because I thought that Fred VanVleet would be a part of that trade in order for them to acquire KD, but they were able to keep him and just lose Dylan Brooks and Jaylon Green, which I thought was pretty good. And this is why VanVleet just got extended 2 years, $50 million. So Fred VanVleet is paid 2 years, $50 million. He deserves it. He's a former champion in Toronto. He's the one who kind of gets the offense a spark that they need when Jaylon Green can't knock his shots down, when he can't be special, because he's not elite yet. So the Rockets won that trade. Tripod said the Texans are going to the Super Bowl. I got a lot of Texan fans on my channel. Man, that's crazy. A lot of Texans fans. I've heard a few Panthers, Texans. That's what's up. At least I'm in your algorithm. I'm just glad to be in your algorithm. And in order to get in that, I need people to hit the like button, follow The Great Debate Show, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, follow The Great Debate Show right now if you're watching. And if you like the content that I'm bringing you, follow. And that helps me out in the algorithm. So when I'll drop these uploads or these live streams, I'll pop up just like that. You know? Let's see here. True, I want BA to do good, but he is poisoning himself. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that dude, man. Ain't Brandon Ayuk, and only 49er fans can probably answer this question, but doesn't Brandon Ayuk kind of remind you of Kevin Durant? He just always seems to be pissed. Like, what you mad about, brother? You just signed a good contract. I know everybody has problems. Biggie said it. More money, more problems. But damn, brother, you ain't never happy. What's the problem? You're the number one receiver now. Debo's gone. I don't get it. But I saw T.O. talking to BA during minicamp. Deal with it. I saw him talking to T.O. and Patrick Willis. They were at minicamp. And at least Brandon Ayuk was, respectful. He listened. He didn't seem like his body language didn't say, man, I don't want to hear that shit. And T.O., we know how much of a diva he was back in the day. I think he probably was trying to school BA and let him know how he learned from his mistakes. You're about to make some of the same mistakes I made. Don't do it. That's what that could be. But now, BA is not going anywhere. I think when he comes back, though, man, he's going to tear it up. He's going to snap. Because he's got a lot on his mind and a lot to get off his chest. And I think if he can do it on that field, it'll benefit the 49ers. Sooner Babe says, Indiana Fever. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. She said, oh, man, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham. I love Sophie Cunningham. Abe Boston, Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell. Well, damn. Sooner Babe just gave us a starting five. She knows her stuff. That's what's up. Watch out for the Fever. I almost thought that the Indiana Fever and the Indiana Pacers were going to be champions this year. You know, at one point, every time Caitlin Clark was in the building, Pacers won. But then she got healthy and she went back to work. And I don't think she was there for game 6. I don't think she was there for game 6. She wasn't in the building. In game 7, well, we know what happened to Tyrese Halliburton then. So maybe she really was their good luck charm or something. I don't know. But yeah, I like that comment, Sooner Babe. She knows her Indiana Fever. Is that your team or are you just a big WNBA fan? I'm watching it too now, y'all. I know what I said about the WNBA, and I don't really watch women basketball. But it has been entertaining. I'm not going to lie. I watched Caitlin Clark against the undefeated team, the Liberty. Well, they were undefeated till they beat them. I watched Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky beat up on Atlanta or somebody like that. She had a triple-double. That was good. I like Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer for the Fever. And there's somebody else. What's her name? The NBA leading scorer, the MVP, Aja Wilson. I watched her too in Las Vegas the other night. It's not bad. I like the way they do their production. I like the way the reporters and the head coaches are mic'd up and talking as they're coming back into the next quarter. They do some things that the NBA should actually try to copycat off of. I'm not lying. So they make it a little bit interesting. So yeah, I guess y'all are right. Caitlin Clark is that great. She'd make a brother like me even watch. But I am watching other teams, not just her. But she's phenomenal. Marcus the Dope says Steelers need to re-sign Watt. Yeah, what's up with that, Marcus? What's taking so long, brother? And then you got Aaron Rodgers drama. He's already going around on Pat McAfee talking about this my last year probably. So he wants to get that Kobe Bryant, that final year send-off, which nobody probably wants to do because they're sick of Aaron Rodgers. Every time they ask him about the game, somebody's also going to say, "This is going to be your last year, Aaron. You don't want to run it back. Your guys are getting out to a great start. You think you may come back?" And he's going to get questioned all year, and he wants it. He loves that attention. Mike Tomlin, it would have been in the part. Look, you can't sign with us unless you tell us that you're not doing any more podcasts. This is why the Jets didn't want him back. Stop talking and get in that playbook. Talk to Arthur Smith. That's who you need to be talking to. Okay, but you do need to sign Watt, no doubt. You really do. Twitter, y'all gonna talk to me? Y'all ain't can y'all type on here and say anything? I'll answer your questions or your comments. Sean P in the building said Ace Bailey to the Wizards, please. Man, Ace Bailey is a hot topic tonight. He's the next big thing besides Cooper Flagg getting drafted at 1. Where do the Wizards pick at, Sean? Felix in the building says, sorry, man, gotta drop in just to hate on the Niners flag. Keep up the good content. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Who's your team? Why are you dropping in hating on the Niners flag? Who's your team? Anyway, thanks, though. Deal with it said Chiefs get that OKC treatment. Or you mean the OKC is getting the Chiefs treatment. Got the Chiefs, they're the head honcho with this shit. They really are. I want Danny Wolf to go to my Pistons. The Pistons need to be doing something too, man. They're too good to just be sitting back not doing anything. I feel you on that, man. I hope all y'all get what y'all want. Didn't Westbrook sign to the Houston Rockets? No. I think he is going to resign with Denver. But he is not a Rocket as of yet. KD just want to hoop. It says, Mr. Yeah, that's KD in it. Niners poster got me thinking of Patrick Willis taking live back in the day. Man, what you said, Scripps. One knows the good old days. J-Dub, who you think the Thunder draft tonight? I don't know. Maybe they won't draft anybody. They may make a trade or something. Love the Steve Young picture behind you. My favorite quarterback ever. Mine too, really. Because I didn't get to watch Joe Montana his entire career. I caught Joe on the back end. Steve Young, so underrated in my book. Good comment. Thank y'all. Sona Babe, I've been watching Clark since college. I love Sophie for sticking up for Caitlin. She brings views in. Facts. Sooner Babe, I'm going to be honest with you. I've actually been doing this podcast since the pandemic started. I just was a little late to all of the platforms. I was so focused on my Spotify streams and my Apple podcasts and all of that. Anyway, I said all that to say this. For the past 4 or 5 years, I have not said a damn thing about no WNBA until Caitlin Clark got drafted. I was like, damn, what's all this hype about? And I got into it and I watched and I'm like, oh, okay, I see. And so, yeah, even she has me talking about it. I've never talked about or covered the WNBA until now. Jack Alexander said, so Dylan Harper doesn't exist? LOL. Yes, he does. Look, y'all, and I'm going to say this. I don't know about all of these players because I've told y'all this. I'm trying to see if y'all be listening. I'm not the biggest college basketball fan. So I hadn't really watched a lot of college hoops. So I don't really know about all these players that are coming out. But what do y'all think about the Celtics offseason moves? And I hope all y'all get the players that y'all want tonight in the draft. I really do. I hope you do. Y'all are good, loyal fans, and, we all deserve to have something to cheer about for our team, something to look forward to instead of just, we're going to be the same old Washington Wizards. I feel for those things like, yeah, ouch. When are they ever going to come out of the Charlotte Hornets? When are those franchises ever going to come out of the hole? Man. But Jack, what do you think? What do you think about Dylan Harper? What do you think needs to happen with Dylan Harper? What do you think needs to go down tonight? in this NBA draft. Ace Bailey, he seems pretty confident on where he's going. So maybe he knows he's not going to Philly. Paul George could get traded. They said that they were going to run it back and try this again with Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George. But now a report came out earlier from Bleacher Report that they're taking calls. Now, Paul George is 35 years old now. He's coming off of one of his worst seasons in his career. Only played about 41 games this past season, and he averaged under 20. That hadn't happened since that year he broke his leg. So maybe they saw enough from Paul George and they just want to get younger, or they want to have that contract off so they can get a few more young guys. I'm not sure. But would anybody accept Paul George now, or y'all like he's a thing of the past too now? He's not even Kevin Durant. But he could defend on the perimeter. I don't know how good of a defender he is now, but I liked him for his defense more than his offense at times. But when he could get it going, Paul George could get it going, and he wasn't nothing to play with. I think the Sixers should be holding on to those guys, though, in my honest opinion. Sorry about that. In my honest opinion, I think they should be holding on to those guys. But who knows? We'll see. We will see. What else? I don't know. I think that's it. That's all I have to talk about. Aaron Rodgers is saying this is his last season. We could talk about the AFC South, but I think I'd rather save it for tomorrow and Friday now. Like, let's talk about the AFC North, because I want to talk about the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson and their first round pick, the defensive end Shamar Stewart. Are those guys going to get signed or not? TJ Watt, I had a Stiller in here talking about him, saying he needs to get paid, and I agree, he does. He does. When is that going to happen? So we can talk about the AFC North on a Thursday. Yeah, let's do that. And then you've got two more teams. The Ravens, who are probably going to finish at the top. And let me see. Who's the other team in the AFC North? Oh, the Cleveland Browns, who nobody probably really cares about. But Kevin Stefanski on the hot seat, he's got to do something. What will it be, though? Shadur Sanders, who's going to be their quarterback. We'll talk about their deep quarterback room. We can talk about the Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers having to do this all over again if he does retire after this 1 year in Pittsburgh, and the drama that all that's going to bring with this being his farewell tour. This is what he's asking for. That's why he says this in June, because he wants a farewell tour. He thinks he's Kobe. He's not. He thinks he's still a Packer too, I guess. The Steelers, man, the Steelers don't know you like that. You just got here, bro. We just want to win. Ain't nobody got time for all that farewell tour stuff. So we can talk about that. Let's do AFC North tomorrow. Who are the favorites in the AFC North heading into training camp in about 1 month? That's what we'll discuss tomorrow. I'm live now on Instagram. I was live on X and Twitter. Now I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's the Great Debate Show. I do this weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Covering the NFL, the NBA, WNBA, WWE, UFC, boxing. Canelo Crawford, I've been covering that fight. There's a video up right now. I talked about those two yesterday. And that press conference that they had in New York City this past weekend. Go pull that episode up. Great Debate Show channel. Find it on YouTube and subscribe. And hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified each and every time a new episode is uploaded or a live stream is in session. Thank you to Scripps and Isaac, who just followed me. Thank you, Isaac. California 49er, bang, bang. Welcome back. California says 49ers will be dominant this year. Everyone is sleeping on the Niners. Let them keep sleeping. I like that, don't you? Let them keep sleeping. We'll wake their asses up around December, January. I bet you that. That's the one thing I have to say about Shanahan. I hate him, but he'll always exceed the expectations until you exceed the expectations. When you're expected to do it, then that's when you lose him. He's going to choke. That's why I want them to get rid of him. But he doesn't. Somebody told me the Niners are going to probably make the playoffs and they'll run into some real competition when they get there. And they'll probably be one and done. That ain't Kyle Shanahan, though. That sounds right. Because we're really probably not the best team in the NFC, but we could very well easily get the number 1 or number 2 seed with our strength of the schedule being so weak. But Shanahan either goes to the Super Bowl or he didn't go to the playoffs. He goes to the NFC Championship game before he gets put out, or he doesn't make the playoffs. It's no areas of gray with him. It's black or white. We're going to be good or we're going to be bad. And I don't think we're going to be bad this year. So y'all take that with a grain of salt or whatever you want. Joey in the building said, great show. Glad I found you. Thank you, Joey. Thank you. So I know you followed. I appreciate it. I need that. Scripts in the building. What's up? James Finch said they need to follow the OKC model. Who was that? Well, shit, everybody. The whole league does. I love the way they won their championship. Guys are still on their rookie contract. I love it. And don't be surprised if OKC makes a move tonight. They may not draft anybody. They may trade some stuff for one more big guy. Could you see them getting rid of a Dort and a Cason Wallace or something for like well, I know the Suns wouldn't trade Devin Booker, but wouldn't that be a good trade if they could get a Devin Booker or a DeMar DeRozan to help them out in the backcourt so SGA wouldn't have to do all the damn work? I know that sounds crazy because they just won a championship, but I can still see them being aggressive because their defense is what makes them champions. That offense sometimes can get them in trouble or the lack thereof. What's up, Wes in the building? Who does OKC get? I think they may make a trade, man, and get another star. I don't know. And if they do draft, whoever they draft, I'm cool with it because it seems like they know what the fuck they're doing. Am I right? It seems like they know what they're doing. Want to shout out the real king of Memphis who joined me here. I know who that is. What's up with you? Joining me here on Instagram. It's the Great Debate Show. I'm live weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Some of these people are new here, and I'm popping up in their algorithm finally. You know how that happens? Hitting the thumbs up or the like button, following us, subscribing to us here at the Great Debate Show, sharing these live streams. And you know, some of these people are going to be like, wow, who is this Great Debate Show guy? And I've got a few new people here now. I'm glad I popped up in our algorithm, and now they're a part of the community. We appreciate you and thank you. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I really do appreciate that. Joey said, what about the Falcons? I like the Falcons. I like their quarterback. They like their quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. I think it's up for him. He's going to have one of those Jaden Daniel type of seasons, I think, this year, since it's his first year, going to be able to start the whole year. They've got some offensive weapons. B. John Robinson needs to be used more in the backfield and in the receiving game. I just think they need to tighten up on their defense. Al Horford has a robust market. Sham said the free agent. Hold on a second. Sham says that the free agent may be the Celtics' next departure. I just said that about 30 minutes ago, didn't I? Al Horford ain't coming back. He wants a contract, and the Celtics are trying to get cheaper, not more expensive. So that's why they're renovating the house like my 49ers had to do. They can't afford to keep all these players. They're trying to get out of that second apron. So Horford is about to be the next guy gone. As I said, look out for the Lakers to be looking for an Al Horford, a Clint Capella, or a Bam Adebayo. Although it doesn't seem like Pat Riley's going to trade anybody. But he's trying to add a Kuminga right now, the Heat. But I just don't know what the Warriors are going to do with Kuminga. But Horford's going to be next. Trying to tell Celtic fans to brace themselves. This is a reset or possibly rebuild, y'all. But this is a smart thing. If Tatum didn't get hurt, the Celtics would have kept reaching, and they would have got deeper and deeper in their hole where they ain't got no money, and they're strapped for cash. I'm not saying it's a good thing that Tatum got hurt, but it's a gift and a curse. And the gift is we got a good excuse to get rid of these players now that he's hurt. Take advantage. Better to do it now than later. And by the time we think about it and look up again, the Celtics are going to be right back in the championship picture again. I know they can do it. They're very capable of doing so. Just give them a few years. But don't expect them to be contending for the championship next season. I think something is going to happen tonight too, man. I ain't going to lie. I'm kind of like y'all. West in the building. West said LeBron better. LeBron's better than who, man? West said Carlson, Dean Jones might be the only movement. We are going to sign Russell again to retire. Okay, I got you. Now, I think they said that he was in contract talks with re-signing with Denver. If you're talking about Russell Westbrook. West said, I was at the parade. Most people I have seen in one place. Yeah, I believe that. Sooner Babe said that she watched it online, and she said it was over 700K. Over 700,000 people there. Still Drake says, if McGrady was on those Shaq teams instead of Kobe, do they still win 3 in a row? Yes. That's a good question, man. I like that, Drake. And thank you, Mel, for joining me. Thank you, Laurel Harris, for joining me. Hey, how you doing, Laurel? Invite Keegan. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for joining me. Look, let me say this right quick, because I like what you just said there, brother. I have been the one who said, and again, a lot of people say I say a lot of unhinged things on this podcast. A few years ago, I said, and I got tore to shreds for it. They dragged me through the mud. But all I said was, back in the day, Tracy McGrady was better, slightly better than Kobe Bryant when he was wearing the number 8 on his jersey. That's all I said. When Kobe went to number 24, the Black Mamba had officially been born. And nobody was fucking with him then. But when he was number 8, as good as Kobe was, he wasn't 24 Kobe. And I thought at that time Tracy McGrady was better than Kobe. And Kobe done told us himself in interviews that Tracy McGrady gave him the most problems because he could do everything he could do. But he was like 6'8". And it was facts. So, yes, if Tracy McGrady was on the Laker team with Shaq instead of Kobe, yes, I think they still would have won 3 straight. As a matter of fact, I think they probably would have done it easier because Kobe was still developing into Kobe. Where Tracy McGrady, he was kind of like Penny, man. He was already Tracy McGrady. When Penny came to the NBA, he was already Penny. It took Kobe a little time, and he leaned in on Jordan, and Jordan helped him out. He didn't have to do that. Now, don't get me wrong. When Kobe became Kobe Bean, Bryant, the Black Mamba, it was curtains for everybody. I'm just saying, at one point, before he put that number 24 on his chest, T-Mac was better than number 8 Kobe. And I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback from that. I always do when I say that because I know it's not a popular statement, but that's just how I saw it. Tracy McGrady was good. And it didn't even look like he was really trying. He looked like he was damn near about to fall asleep on the court. And he was still just, hey, let me take this, bounce it off the backboard, and put this on your head. Boot, dunk, live game. Like, this ain't the all-star game. He's in live games doing that, though. Yeah. So, yeah, he was that dude, man. And you have to think that, too, a little bit, right? I don't think you would have asked that question if you didn't, Dre. But good comment. Let's see here. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I got to pay some bills. I'm going to answer a few more of these. Joey said, who's your GOAT, Jordan or LeBron? Just thoughts I would ask, LOL. And I'm just going to slide over here a little bit and let you look at that picture right there. You see, I got my Money in the Bank briefcase. I got my patented World Heavyweight Championship belt. And you see that brother right there on that picture? Yeah, that's my GOAT. LeBron is a phenomenal player, and he's going to go down as the 2nd or 3rd best player in the NBA of all time. And when it comes to stats, most people, he is the GOAT to some people. But stats, that isn't everything to me. They're just numbers. I watched the game. Like Skip Bayless said, I use the eye test, and the eye test tells me that Michael Jordan's still number one. You just can't compare 6-0 in the finals to 4-8 or whatever he may be. You can't compare or debate a guy who stayed with his team. What if Michael Jordan had said, "Hey, Penny, Shaq, let me come over there to Orlando"? What if he had said, "Hey, Akeem, Olajuwon, tell Clyde to move over. I'm coming to Houston"? You know, it didn't happen. He'll always have a red flag and a red asterisk by his name, career-wise, when you think about how he left Cleveland to go get a few rings in Miami. That's just it. He said, "I hear you, bro. That's just me, man. I know everybody doesn't agree with that, especially this generation, but I stand on it." Laurel said, "Hey, good to see you, Laurel. KJ, how do you feel about Ricky Pearsall?" I don't know. Don't know what to say about him. I hope sky's the limit. That's a young brother that got robbed and shot, or attempted robbery and was shot, and he still was able to come back and play some games. There was one game that looked promising. The Monday night game against the Detroit Lions. It looked promising, but he still didn't look that fast, though. He still may be a slot guy. BA needs to show that he's number one, and he needs to play like that contract says. And Jawan Jennings has to be a damn good number two. But none of that happens if the O-line can't protect and block. And CMC needs to be at least 75% of the old CMC. But good question, man. Thank you, KJ. Joshua Wilson says T-Mac was Kobe, but 2 to 3 inches taller with a better shot. That's what I'm saying. See, I thought y'all was gonna drag me through the mud for that. Some people did on Facebook a few years ago when I first said it, but y'all ain't like Facebook. Y'all got sense. Y'all got sense. Like a lot of people wouldn't say that though, Joshua, because it's Kobe. And they're like, we know who Kobe is, but do y'all not remember who T-Mac is? What did Roy Jones say? Y'all motherfuckers must have forgot. Yeah, he was 2 to 3 inches longer, taller, with a better shot. Yeah, it took time for Kobe's shot. Yeah, that's facts, Joshua. People don't want to admit that, but it is. And we're talking before, T-Mac started dealing with the injuries and everything. Chang in the building says the Knicks don't have a chance for the finals. Even the Pacers and Celtics hurt. Damn, that hurts. You don't think so? You don't think they have a better shot now? They probably still need to trade Cat, though. I don't know. We'll see. What y'all think about Cooper Flag? Is he going to be amazing? Who does he remind you of? Give me a comparison. I heard somebody say Paul George. Who do y'all got? Who does Cooper Flag remind you of? And how good is he going to be, or is he just hype? LeBron said he's going to be amazing. Do you think he'll have immediate impact on the Dallas Mavericks? If so, the Mavericks are just fine, like I've been saying. And Nico Harrison cut him some slack. They forced him to make that trade during the Super Bowl week for ratings and stuff. I don't know. But they promised him this pick tonight in return, and he's going to get it. We all know that draft lottery was rigged, so that was the part of the plan. I think the Mavs are going to be fine. Laurel said facts. I bet you're talking about that Jordan LeBron stuff. Loso cuts. LeBum has one thing, and it's longevity. See? LeBum. My point exactly. He does have that. Never have we seen, and never probably will we ever see, a player that can look this good, this great, this athletic still at 40 years old. I'm not going to lie. Kobe and Jordan could not do that at 40. I ain't going to lie. They didn't have to because they already had 5-6 rings. And they didn't have to go anywhere and chase it. But I do give LeBron credit for how he's took care of his body all these years and have that longevity. Why the GOAT says, can you give a shout out to my friend Wyatt? Shout out Wyatt. What's up, Wyatt? Hope all is well. NMC says, so T-Mac better than Kobe and Jordan, better Okay, so T-Mac better than Kobe and Jordan better than Bron. Laughing, Hey, man, I said at one point, are you listening? When Kobe was wearing the number 8, okay, 8, he wasn't better than T-Mac until he put 2-4 on his chest. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. And yes, Jordan is better than Bron. Yes. Yes. But then again, that's just my opinion, and I know that don't mean shit to you. But that's just mine. And he asked me, okay, talking about he has an asterisk because he left Cleveland, but Jordan literally got his own father unalive. Now, see, I don't know nothing about none of that, NMC. I don't know nothing about none of that. But even if that's true, LeBron be doing them packs and stuff too. That's why he was called the what was it they were calling him before he got drafted? And I still don't think he lived up to that hype. The chosen one. King James. He went to Diddy parties. I shouldn't have to say shit else. He's just as deep into that shit as anybody else, and that's the reason why he is who he is, not just because of his talents. I'm sorry. So if we gonna go down that rabbit hole, bruh, I can go way, way deep down there. And I don't think you want to do that. And I ain't got the time either. But hey, man, it's just my opinion. If you think LeBron is better, I get it. That's why I don't like to talk about that debate. I don't like debating it anymore with this generation. Because y'all gonna think what y'all gonna think. You know? This generation thinks Tupac and Biggie was trash. So I rest my case. That's when I know I ain't got no reason to have a debate or a conversation with these people. Think what you think, though. You're entitled to your own opinion, man. But that was just mine. Let's keep it going here. And I'm not telling you that he didn't do that to his father. I ain't gonna say he didn't. You know? I'm just saying that still doesn't mean like he's not better than LeBron. You don't get credit for going to chase rings. We can't say KD was wrong and not say LeBron wasn't. LeBron started that shit. That's why he didn't win championships against Golden State. That was his karma. That's why I didn't feel sorry for him when KD was dropping them threes on his head in 17, 18. That's what you get. You went to go get your boys because you couldn't beat the Boston Celtics? Kevin Durant did the same thing. Let's see here. Ecom. Dre, who would you rather start your baseball with, Ohtani or Judge? Ohtani. And I like the Dodgers. I hate the Yankees. Because everybody loves the Yankees. And they don't even watch them. Cooper Flag will be crazy. Thank you, Ecom. That's what I want to hear. What y'all think about Flag? KJ said, whatever. LeBron says, I agree. Whatever LeBron says, I agree with. Okay. LeBron is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. I appreciate y'all comments, man. That don't ruffle my feathers at all. Like who you like, and I'm going to like who I like. Sean says, Seattle coming. Really? Y'all been the basketball team? Or are you talking about the Seahawks? Liam West in the building. What's up, man? I'm about to get out of here right now, though. You're late today. My little man, he knows his sports pretty good to be like 13. He's out in L.A., a Laker fan. And he's been on this show a few times talking sports with me. Kobe better than both, says user 882. Not going to debate that, man. How do you feel about Jey Uso? Overrated, but he's over as can be with the fans, so he deserved a better championship reign than what he got. He didn't deserve to get kicked to the side for old bird, in my opinion. And I ain't a fan of Jey Uso. That Yeet movement needs to stop, but I still give credit where it's due. He deserved it. Let him have it until, you do it the right way and give it to somebody else who can actually be a better champion. Top Class says, good morning. Grand rising to you. Morel said MJ is better than all of them. Agreed. 17 in the building. Good, man. Top Class says 100. Thank you. D40, 40 man, 49 emojis. I see it. Just follow me. Thank you. Russ says the accolades speak for itself. True. Ohtani or Judge? Ohtani. These are some good debates here, man. We even get to the MLB. Basketball must be officially over. In my opinion, KD is my GOAT, says Logan 42. Okay. Okay. I don't even want to ask how or why. But that's your opinion. KD is the GOAT, and I'm from OKC. Okay. Judge and Seager, home run today, says Trevor. Deal says, go Rams, Unc. Ah, whatever, man. 49ers, let's go. Bang, bang, Dragon League. I enjoyed your live, though. Glad I found you. Thank you, KJ. Thank you, KJ. You bring some good debates to the table. Whenever y'all want to come in and chime in when I got the time, man, I got to go pay some bills right now. But if there's ever a time where you want to be heard, all you got to do is, well, I don't know what it is y'all click on, but I'll see it saying that you're asking for an invite, and I'll go ahead and let you join as a guest. You don't like Goldberg, says Ron? No. Never have, never will. I mean, I like his entrance. I'm about to do top 5 entrances of all time, me and my co-host Terrence Smith. When I do that, Goldberg will probably be on that list somewhere. But when they ring the bell, nah, that's when I go to the kitchen and fix a sandwich or take a bathroom break. Nah, man, Goldberg's always been trash. David, bang, bang. That's right. Hot take, Jimmy Butler is the greatest Miami Heat player of all time. It is a hot take. But I do like Jimmy Buckets. Even though he doesn't like Memphis. I say KD is the GOAT because you gotta walk before you can run. Gotta have a foundation. Okay. And we know once you get that foundation, he wants to jump over there and try to win the championship with you too. How do you have the most points in NBA history and still top 5 in all-time assists? GOAT, says Russ. You looking at the stats. As I said about 15 minutes ago, stats don't mean everything to me. LeBron James is still around for those stats, so you can call him the GOAT. He's been stat stuffing for the past 15 years. I hate to say it. I never thought I would say this, but most of the things that Skip Bayless said about LeBron, he was right. Just average your 28 in your 7 in your 8, and you're going to be at the top of everything if you can do that for 20 years. He's did it for 21, 22. Oh, he's very, very, very calculated. He knows what he's doing. But that don't work for me, though. Y'all can drink that Kool-Aid, but I'm not. I don't care that you're the all-time person in points. I care about you getting the points when it's 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Because you told me in the first quarter, every time you got a basket, you was flexing. You flex every time. And you got ice in your vein. And then when he gets fouled, he just likes to just lay there and look around and, I'm hurt. And did they call a flagrant foul yet? Did they call a flagrant? All right, I'm up. Man, y'all could have called a flagrant. You see me frowning my face up and shit. I mean, just always whining. People get tired of it. Win a championship. Win 6 or 7 of them since you to go. I don't care about all those stats, y'all. I'm sorry. And I'm done talking about LeBron James and Michael Jordan and this GOAT debate. It's not a great debate. I know this is the Great Debate Show, but to me, it's not a debate. It's not. It's not. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. Well, now I see a few people want to come in here. Man, but I really, hold on, let's see here. When you cashing in your money in the bank briefcase, says Motorboat. Man, I wish I could do it this Saturday. No, I take that back. I don't want to be in no fucking, where they going to be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Nah, let's wait till Saturday night's main event. I cash it in then. Women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. Laughing emoji. And that's a lie too. Numbers can be deceiving at times now, just like looks. But thank you for the comments, Russ. Also, the fastest to get those stats. Really? The fastest? He's been playing for over 20 years. Matt Mamba said LeBron can't guard anyone. Kaminga for Cam Thomas. That's the second time I've heard that today. Says Ronald Building. Top Class says that won't happen. He's not liked here. Bret Hart should be the referee in the Gunther Goldberg match. That's a good one, Trey. Wouldn't that be funny? Top Class says, well, he ain't gone. LOL. Y'all are crazy today. What do you think the Warriors' next move is? I ain't getting a big. I just don't know who that would be. Don't know who that would be. Thank you for liking these live videos, Brayden. Thank you, Joey. Gilbert. Who do you think our Grizzlies get tonight? I don't know, man. I just hope they do something good, something smart. I don't want them to pick anybody. Get them picks to Boston for Jaylen Brown, or give one of those picks and a player to Sacramento for DeMar DeRozan. Let's just get another superstar and run it back. Triple J, and another star. That's what I would like. We got enough depth. We've got enough youth on that bench. We good. Diggs said Devontae Parker is better all time compared to Jerry Rice. Man, you don't go ahead, though. Definitely good debating with you, says Russ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We can do this. So Joe Black said, let's go Niners. Jeff Garcia, better than Brock Purdy. Yeah. You know what? Mentally, he may not have it upstairs like Purdy, because Purdy, he's a bright young kid, but he still does stupid things at times. And he's limited with a lot of his skills and arm strength, or lack thereof. But I ain't trying to be hard on Purdy, man. I like him. He's a good kid, good guy, good young man. I didn't expect him to want all of the money. I thought he was going to be more of a team guy like Tom Brady. Hey, man, you don't have to make me the high paid. Just, I want to keep this guy, and that guy. But nah, he was like, nah, I got to get me. I know I'm not as good as it looks. I know I'm not really elite, so I better cash in while I can. Smart. Let's go Niners, though. Like you said, Sojo Black. I miss Jeff Garcia, though. Those were the days, man. He's brought a championship to every team he's went to, says Russ. Are you talking about LeBron? You talking about LeBron? It took the second time for him to get it in Cleveland now. He had to go back and do it. And he only went back because of Kyrie. And he knew he could get Kevin Love. Tell me a championship that LeBron has won where he was the only star on the team. I'll wait. And you can say Pippen was a star, but he was still Robin, right? He wasn't Batman. Every time LeBron's won a championship, it was Batman and Batman. Because Anthony Davis in 2020, he was Batman too. Wade was Batman too. I know his knee was kind of giving him problems, but LeBron had to go play with him to win. Okay? Y'all stop playing around now. These are facts. I'm not just saying shit. These are facts. Okay? And if he wins right now, he's playing with another Batman. And I know he didn't go join Luka. I get that. But if he wins, he's still playing with another Batman. He's got Luka. You know? Scotty was good, but he wasn't Luka. He wasn't Wade. He wasn't AD. He wasn't Kyrie. You get where I'm going. And I don't care about the competition. This league is soft right now. So it don't matter about the competition. This league is still not what it used to be. And if the competition was so bad when Jordan was winning those championships, how come nobody else won? That's something nobody can ever answer. Surely Charles Barkley could have gotten at least one. Karl Malone should have gotten at least one. Why didn't they win championships then if the competition was so weak? Let's go San Francisco Giants. That's what's up. I fuck with the Giants, man. I just like the Dodgers, though, man, and they're hitting. And I was saying it before they won the World Series last year. But thank y'all for y'all comments, man. I appreciate it. Ronald said, cut the cap. I'm not capping, man. Big Niner game 100. Thank you, ESG Rich. Cavs make some moves, says Justin. Cavs. We can't forget about the Cavs, y'all. Cavs are like, hey, y'all chill out now. We'll be back next year. We just got hurt. Jay Harris. Man, love the energy. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, my mom's a Harris, man. We may be family. Where you from, Harris? Why does it matter? Says Justin Better. Why does what matter? Dirk was the only Batman on the Mavs team. Yeah, that's right. He was. Dirk was a bad boy, man. That's a debate we should have for another day. Who's y'all favorite Maverick all the time? Dirk Steve Nash or Luka? Somebody on Twitter, and it may be a little racist, I don't know. I don't think they were being funny or racist, though. It's just Cooper Flag stuff is coming up tonight, and Luka's doing good, and Caitlin Clark is taking over. He had something on Twitter. It was called, it was like 5 players, and he was asking which was the best Caucasian player of all time. You had Dirk, you had Steve Nash, you had Nikola Jokic, Larry Bird, and it wasn't Luka. I don't know who the 5th player was, but surprisingly, it wasn't Luka. And then everybody like beat him up in the comments saying that none of them are better than Luka besides Jokic. That's what they were saying. But I don't remember who the 5th player was. Somebody said it should have been Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd doesn't count. He's still half black. I don't know. I'm not trying to be racist either. I don't think they were trying to be. They were just like, who's the best Caucasian player of all time in basketball? And I kind of think Larry Bird get disrespected the way they just push him to the back. Larry Bird, do y'all know what he had to go up against back in the day? It was rough and tough and physical back then. Now, you can't touch Luka. You know, without it being a foul. You can't do anything to these superstars. So, anybody that says it's not Larry Bird, I think they still tripping. And I know y'all gonna say I'm just old school, Unc, and you need to stop living in the past. You may be right. Oden said Jason Kidd all day favorite Mavs. Okay. That's okay. Jason Kidd, that's good. Who y'all got? Dirk was a bad motherfucker, y'all. Kidd didn't win a championship with the Mavericks. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, he did. He was on that team too, wasn't he? What about JJ Barea? Nah, I'm kidding. He was a little thorn in the Miami Heat side that year, though, wasn't he? Jay Harris said, "Oh, Georgia. Okay, gotcha. Okay, nah, I ain't got no roots in Georgia." But yeah, I'm in Memphis over here, man. I was just wondering. I like the name though. Nets trading for PG tonight. Paul George. They did say he could be on the move. So the Nets are actually gonna try to do some shit, maybe, man. Maybe. Triple H or HHH Few 2 says Nets trading for PG. Caleb in the building says, is he ? Dirk, no question. Kobe and Powell and the Thunder 3, and then Brian and D-Wade. Okay. Alex says no defense now. Who has no defense? CM says Larry Bird, of course. The stuff that he was doing was crazy, but yep. Jay Harris, thanks, man. You welcome. Oten says Jimmy Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, Popeye Jones, Rolando Blackman. Lots of great Mavs that never won. You sure did name a few, didn't you? Man, you taking me back with Mashburn and Rolando Blackman. And yeah, you been playing all time on 2K? Yeah, I like that, though, man. You're right. The Mavs had some players. Okay, y'all, my time is up, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I got some bills to pay, but I appreciate y'all joining me. TikTok, y'all really been killing in here lately. Thank you for following. If you are, if you're not, I hope you decide to hit the follow button, the like button, and I hope you share these streams with any friends or family that you know that like sports. Somebody that can just talk all day about this shit like me. I think I'm coming back tonight for the NBA Draft Live. I just want to be able to say Cooper Flag is officially a Dallas Maverick, so I can go ahead and claim the Dallas Mavericks to win the Western Conference next year. I'm still a Grizzly all day, but until we make another move that I can be confident in, and until I see or hear that Ja Morant is in the gym and he is really shooting his ass off, working his ass off, he's really about to show everybody why he should and will be the new face of the league. Until those things happen, Dallas is probably going to be the number one team for me in the West. If there's any team that can give the Thunder a run for their money and keep them from repeating, I think it's Dallas. And I know Kyrie is not coming back till maybe Christmas or the New Year in 26. It doesn't matter. Cooper Flag is probably going to be a white Paul George. Paul George in Indiana, not Paul George with the Clippers or the Thunder, but Paul George, a young Paul George in Indiana. That's one of the comparisons that is being made with Cooper Flag. And I don't think there's any added pressure that he's got to make Mavs fans forget about Luka. Maverick fans should just forget about Luka right now because he's gone and ain't no coming back until he retires his jersey or some shit. So let's just leave it alone. You're a Maverick fan or you want to be a Laker? Cooper Flag is the next big thing, and AD and Gafford got extended. Kyrie got extended. Watch out for Dallas. I'm saying it right now. Watch out. But again, watch out for the Thunder tonight. They know there's no guarantee that they actually pick somebody. They may trade some stuff for something bigger. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight when I come in here for the live stream. Will somebody get traded, or will it just be a boring pick? Which nobody wants to see. We want to see Derek White's name. We want to hear Derek White's name. He was traded to such and such, and that's why this player picked this team. This team picked that player. We want to hear Jaylon Brown was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. Anybody gonna say that? Y'all don't like that? I do. We want to hear something like that. And keep in mind, Celtic fans, Al Horford is going to be the next exit for the Boston Celtics. This reset is really starting to look like a rebuild, if you ask me. Yep. Pickle Streams in the building says, do you think DG is getting traded? I'm sorry, who is DG? Who is that? The Nets have 5 first-round picks. Yeah, what they gonna do with them? Now Mavs to trade Lou Sass for game itch. Pickle said, I'm a Cavs fan. Congrats. I hate what happened to y'all this postseason, but you'll be all right. Yes, I am a Niners fan. What's up to you, Pickle? Who is DG, man? Who you mean? Who is that? If you can tell me that. Oh, Darius Garland. Well, I heard he's going to have off-season surgery on that toe that kept him, out of most of that Indiana series. So I don't know if you're going to trade for him. It depends on when he can come back and start next year. But why would they trade Garland? What are they looking to get in return? I thought those guys were hooping, man, in that backcourt. Darius Garland and Spider Mitchell and Max Strus and man, so many of those guys, man, was splashing the Nets. That's why we were thinking, man, Cleveland can beat Boston. We didn't see Indiana getting to the finals. We were too busy worried about Cleveland, who were number 1 in the East, just like OKC was number 1 in the West, and they kind of got banged up. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Is Jared Allen a free agent or not? That's a big question. These are bigs that the Lakers and the Warriors are looking at. Clint Capella, if he's on the bench now in Atlanta, he's probably getting traded tonight. They've got Porzingis now. They've got that young guy that they drafted last year. So tonight could be very interesting for a change. The NBA, I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck happened. It was when that Luka trade hit, Super Bowl week, and they've been kind of on the up ever since. And we were just shitting on the NBA as a dead product. Now they're about to go to NBC. The GOAT Michael Jordan is going to be somewhat part of that broadcast covering the NBA. Ain't that going to be something? I can't wait. Do you think Seattle deserves the Sonics back? Yes, they do, but it's kind of hard to ask. It's kind of hard to ask for them back after they just won a championship in Oklahoma City, So they're not going anywhere now. I think Seattle is trying to get an expansion team to play over there in the Key Arena, or maybe something newer that they will build. And I think that's why you're hearing all this. Players feel unsafe playing in Memphis. They're trying to move the Grizzlies to Seattle or Las Vegas or possibly Nashville. That's what I think. That's the plot. But our lease at the FedEx Forum is not up until 2029, I think. So, but they're starting already. I would love for a team to go back to Seattle. Michael Jordan finna hate on these young guys. Laughing emoji says Iceman Slim. Do you think he will? I don't know. I don't know if he'll hate on them. I think that this is how it is. When you're talking about somebody who is goated like him, who's did it all and won it all with the accomplishments he has, it will sound like he's hating probably, but it's just that this is the reason why you don't want GOATs to be coaches or to stay involved in that sport, because they're going to expect so much from you when you have to look in the mirror and realize, man, that brother ain't me. Why am I expecting him to do what I did? You know, if somebody misses a layup or doesn't finish at the rim, he's going to say, man, you should have did it like I did it in 91. You take it right here, you switch the hand, and you go to the left. Bang, that's easy. How do you miss the free throw? I used to make free throws with my eyes closed. I don't think it'll be hating. I think it'll be when you're so great, you think you expect everybody else to be that too, and that's just not the case. But then again, maybe he will be hating. Either way, I think it's going to be entertaining to see. I hope he's not a straight asshole on television. We know that he is one, we've heard, but I hope he doesn't display all of that on television. So we'll see. I think it's going to be intriguing either way, though. But good comment, Iceman. You may be right. Eric the Plug, they stole our team, shaking my head. Yeah. It hurts now a little bit more that they want a chip, but are you still repping the Thunder now that they're since they've been in OKC? I heard Darius Garland might go to the Celtics. Why would they do that, I wonder? That doesn't really make a lot of sense though for Boston. Virgil says think OKC will two-peat. They could, but it won't be easy. But they definitely can. Hero and Burks, the Thunder are set for the next 4 or 5 years. They are. But the West is just getting so deep. Hero and Burks with the 2 firsts to Boston for Jaylon Brown. That wouldn't make the Heat any better, though, would it, Diggs? Without Hero. Jaylon Brown, Bam Adebayo. What else would they have, though? Let's see here. Steel DRE says all cream doesn't rise to the top. Baller in the building. Can you what? Amari St. Brown edit, man. Go on here, man. Iceman, Bam overrated. You think he's overrated? I kind of like Bam. He's all right. Hero is mid. Now that I agree with. Pickle. All right, y'all. I've read enough. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all again, though, man. Look, tonight is the draft. I'm gonna come back, do a live stream, I think, see how that goes. If anything pops off, which could happen, like a few things did yesterday, anything that's really breaking news to me, I'll be back to give you an emergency podcast. And that's pretty much it. And tomorrow I'll talk the aftermath of the NBA draft, and I'll talk about the AFC North. We'll talk about that large quarterback death room, that deep quarterback room in Cleveland with the Browns. We'll talk about the Ravens. Are they the best secondary now that they added Jair Alexander? We'll talk about the Steelers and the drama that Aaron Rodgers is already bringing to the organization by telling Pat McAfee yesterday that this could be his last season. So he wants a farewell tour, and that's going to be distracting every Sunday. When they need to be talking about the game, they're going to be busy talking about, are you going to run it back? Or is this really it? And he wants that attention. These are the things that Mike Tomlin shouldn't have settled for, and they could have just paid Justin Fields. He would have stayed if they paid him starter money. The Jets paid him starter money, and it's not really good starter money, though. But they had to wait, and they was desperate for him, and now so this is what they get. So we're going to talk about the AFC North and the Cincinnati Bengals with their cheap asses. We're going to talk tomorrow about why Trey Hendrickson is not in camp or why he won't show up for training camp, and their first-round pick, Shamar Stewart. Will T.J. Watt show up for camp? A lot to talk about. So we're going to start with the AFC North. Who's hot and who's not as we get closer to training camp, which is like a month from now. That's what we're going to do. See, look, Steel Drake said Aaron Drama Queen Rodgers. You see? And that's why I know Steelers fans that said they didn't want any parts of it. I'll just go with Mason Rudolph and tank it out. See, can we get your boy, Arch Manning, next year in the draft? That's what Steelers fans have told me. Because of everything Steel Drake just said. Aaron Drama Queen Rodgers. What do you think WWE having the PLE Saturday? They are having it, Mr. Devil. They are. They're leaving for Riyadh tomorrow. Now I hear a lot of the wrestlers are not comfortable with going. I don't blame them with all the global tension we've got going on right now. But yeah, it looks like they're going to Saudi Arabia. They're going to be in Riyadh, and they're leaving as early as tomorrow because they've got a SmackDown to do there Friday, and then Saturday we're going to have the early show because they'll be out there. That show is going to kick off on Peacock around noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific Saturday. But to answer your question, yeah, they going, man. Omos and the Tongas should make their own faction, says Field Guy. Where the hell is Omos? But if I say Triple H is racist and he don't push black wrestlers, y'all will cancel me. But you can't cancel me. I've already been canceled a long, long time ago. But that's my point exactly, though, man. Where the hell is Omos? They said he went to Japan and killed it. And they were about to keep him out there and do some more things, and the WWE got jealous and said, no, we need him back over here. And all they did is put him on the bench, got him on the shelf, and he could still be working some indies. They low down, man. I don't even know why black people still watch the WWE. I know it's our roots. A lot of us wrestling fans that grew up on it. Some people, like my brother, we don't want no dealings with it anymore. He's old school. Like, ain't nothing better than Stone Cold, Undertaker, Rock. I don't want to hear it. I get it. And he's right. But us hardcore fans, sometimes we still just can't let it go because we still love the storylines and all of that. I don't like it right now because they're not doing a good job with any of that. And I'm tired of seeing black wrestlers get pinned. Carmelo Hayes should already be one of the top guys in the mid-card. But he's not. Hey, I talked Canelo and Crawford yesterday. If y'all didn't see it, go back and pull that video up on YouTube. Just follow the Great Debate Show channel on YouTube and pull it up. I talked about that press conference. I'm talking about that fight. Nobody's giving my boy Bud Crawford a chance. I explain why he's still going to win, even though he's not supposed to. You just have to learn not to bet against Crawford. I talked about all of that on there. And I know a lot of people in the Canelo fan base is really, really, really letting me have it. And it's okay. As I said, Canelo was supposed to win. I just think he won't. Steel Dre said Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. Yeah, man. The final boss will be back. It's coming. Whether they like it or not. He'll be back. And once again, they're going to need him. It's going to be a good fight, says Chef Man Sam. I sure hope it is. I think you're right. He said, I think Bud going to take it. Going to take it. He got the heart. He sure does. And all you got to do is tell him he can't do it. That's what he's going to do. What are your opinions on Edge / Adam Copeland? That says Tyler Stan. I think Edge is top 10. Probably top 15 all time. Yep. That's the character Edge now. I don't know about Adam Copeland. And I think he tarnished his career a little bit by going to AEW. But the Rated R Superstar, that wasn't bad. That was pretty good TV at a time where some of their best competitors went to TNA, and they didn't really have a lot going on outside of the Cena and Edge rivalry, and then Rated RKO and all of that. Edge was very underrated in my opinion when he broke out on his own. He really did kill it. The Mick Foley stuff, Spear Through the Burning Table, him and Lita those days. Man, I mean, everything about Edge and Lita was me and my girlfriend back in the day in high school, or just me and a chick. I mean, me and a woman. Like everything that they did, Rated R version, that if I could write it, I would have wrote it just like that. So I loved Edge. I did. Yep. Good questions, y'all. He is generation. Cooper is better than LeBron. Don't go that far now. I know I hate on LeBron on here, but I ain't going to go that far with it. But I do think Cooper Flag is going to be good. I heard the Spurs want a ridiculous haul for the number 2 pick tonight. How do you think San Antonio should build around Wemby? They want a lot for that number 2 pick, so I guess that means they're going to be picking at number 2. But who will they pick at number 2? Is Ace Bailey coming off the board at number 3? My favorite WWE wrestler, says X-Fan, has always been Rey Mysterio. Sound like my wife. All right, Rey Mysterio, I love him, but never could take him serious. Never. Tommy Reefer in the building. What's up, Tommy? Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Again, I got some bills to pay. It's been good. Thank y'all for kicking it with me. If you want to join me tonight for the live stream NBA draft, I'll be here to do it. If it's not a lot of traffic on these platforms, I'm going to sign off pretty quick. I'm not going to lie. But I will come back if y'all want me to, so we can talk about whatever may go on tonight. Right now, the Spurs are looking for a lot. If they're trading that number 2 pick. Pickle said Wemby 2.0. Man, I wish Wemby had a guy KD. I mean, I'm glad KD is a Rocket. That's the best place for him to go. But the Spurs could have used KD for that spacing. But we still didn't get to see Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is still a Spur too, right? So let's see where that goes. One more thing before I go. I've already said that Al Horford is about to be the next Celtic to leave the building. Look out for the Mavericks to get aggressive in free agency with a point guard. Now that Kyrie has been extended, but he's not going to play for a little minute, we've got what do you mean I'm not using the app? I am using the app. They were trying to pause me on Instagram. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. The Mavericks are looking at a Chris Paul or a I forget the other names, just a point guard. They're looking for some point guard depth in the backcourt, and Chris Paul is one of those names. I know he probably was going to retire, but you think he wouldn't want to go play for the Mavericks right now with all the stuff they got cooking? Could you imagine Chris Paul, even at his age, leaning in with Cooper Flag leaning in on him for his basketball knowledge, that high basketball IQ of his? That would be great for Cooper Flag. So the Mavericks are looking to add a veteran point guard or two in their backcourt to get them over until Kyrie comes back. Y'all, the Mavericks are up. I'm glad the OKC Thunder did win a championship because it ain't going to be easy repeating. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm not saying that at all, but it won't be easy either. Okay? All right, y'all. As my boy Josiah was saying on YouTube, until we yeet again, I'm out this bitch. And y'all be safe. Have a great hump day.